Well, look at you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I can see you, Grace Powers.
Good.
Look, how you doing, Grace? Grace, we're taping this in the afternoon, and you spent all morning in a co, right? And I know you spent all the evenings gallivanting around Nashville, playing with all sorts of icons and all sorts of great musicians until late at night. And I always wonder, like, and you're always up in the morning, like up and running, like ready to go. And I always wonder, how do you do it, Grace? Because sometimes when I try to keep up with you, I'm gonna be honest, my inner old man is like, Jamie, it's past your bedtime. You know, you're missing you're missing Jeopardy. How do you do it?
Um, well, the fact that I'm 17 probably helps.
That is true. I wasn't gonna bring it up. You brought it up.
I don't know. It's become routine by now.
Yeah.
So I'm used to it.
But like, do you sleep like, 5 hours? Like, do you try to get you 7 hours? Like, or do you just not a sleeper?
No, I usually sleep like probably 7 hours, but that also depends on how late I was up the night before.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing, Grace. Break down something for me, Grace, because I find this fascinating. Obviously you're blossoming into like a shining star in front of our eyes. It's great, but you're a family person, Grace. And most importantly, I know your family, they're wonderful people, incredible people, but you live at home, obviously. My question, Grace, is this. When you come back from like playing the Ryman, sold out, you get like a standing ovation, and you're playing with a Billy Gibbons, and you're doing all this crazy stuff, and then you go home, you close the door, and like you have to do like, the laundry. You gotta, you gotta clean up after your dishes. Is that like the weirdest thing? Like for you to like be walking your dog like at 2 a.m. and you're like, 1 hour ago I was a shit, and now I am picking shit.
I mean, it's a great way to stay grounded. And I personally like coming home after a show. I like coming home to people who don't give a shit about it, because and I don't know, it's comforting to me. My family's all very close, and they know I'm gonna be out late, and when I get home, they just don't bother me. So we have a nice little dynamic going on.
I bet. So it's not like like your mom is like in the couch, like it's 2 a.m. kind of type.
Well, sometimes.
Okay. True.
Sometimes I go too far.
I love it, Grace. All right, Grace. You've had so many highlights the past 12 months since we last spoke. I want you to rank the following events for me, and we're not sliding anybody here. I mean, this is like the cream of the crop. Okay, like if you're in this list, like you were an amazing experience. Okay, but I want you to just like rank them off your gut. Number one, the Allman Family Revival, the first time you played the Rhyme. Number two, Grace Bowers and Friends celebrating the Coven show at the Basement East. Number three, Newport Folk Festival. The best things we saw according to Rolling Stone. And number four, New Year's Eve, there with in front of 200,000 people and like 8 million viewers. Those four, rank them for me.
Oh, those are hard to rank because they were all just incredible in their own ways. For right now, I'm gonna put New Year's Eve at the top, probably because it was happened just a week ago.
Yeah.
It was something that was in the works for quite a little bit, and just seeing it all, like being on that stage with Lainey and her incredible band, was just unreal. I mean, 215,000 people were out there. I've never.
What does that feel like, Grace?
I mean, I thought I was gonna get nervous, and I kept waiting for it to hit me, and it never did, which was probably. I don't know why. I just never got nervous.
Yeah.
It was 30 degrees out though at night, and that kind of sucked. I couldn't feel my hands or anything. But besides that, it was great. I'm put that at number one.
Okay, all right, fair. But like, explain it for us common folk, Grace. Like, when you're playing to 200,000 people, like I don't know, is there even a way to describe that? Is that like swimming in like the best frozen yogurt swimming pool you've ever had? Like, what? How would you describe that? You know?
I mean, there's nothing like it. And honestly, in the moment, I'm not thinking about how many people there are that are watching me.
Right.
The thought never even crosses my mind. I mean, from my point of view, I'm looking at my SG that has been everywhere with me, whether it's a small dive bar or the Ryman. I'm always playing the SG. So like being able to look down at my SG and then look up and see all these people watching me.
Yeah.
It was kind of surreal. It was really cool.
I'll tell you what would have made me nervous, because we were, with another of our mutual friends, Devon Gilfield, and we were all watching it backstage at his show across town. What would have made me nervous, and I would have definitely done it, would have been like tripping and falling on my face, because obviously you and the guitar are one, but I feel like that it was kind of like a narrow kind of like B stage there, and there was a lot of stuff going on. It was Laney and the other guy. And it was like five, that must have been something.
Yeah, I was kind of scared because they put me on a riser, and when I took a solo, I had to walk down some steps while soloing.
Right.
that made me a little nervous.
Yeah. Well, you rocked it, Grace. But obviously all those were great. I wasn't at the New Year's one, but the Covenant one, man, that was a night. That was a night. There's something about the Basement East when everything clicks that it's like magical. And obviously all our mutual friends were there, and obviously, for Covenant. But that was such a beautiful, beautiful night. My personal favorite.
Yeah, that was the first show that I ever put together.
Yeah.
Now I'm out doing it tons, but that was the first time I had ever like curated a show. And I did it because I felt very strongly about the cause, and it was amazing getting to see Nashville come together the way it did.
Absolutely. By the way, I'm a little upset because this is the first interview we do in this new space, and I wanted to have the Covenant poster like in the white walls, like hang. It's gonna be there. It just didn't make it on time because the framers were like on vacation or something. Like, screw them. Yeah. But it'll be there, Grace. Okay. By the way, you're gonna be playing here for the Nashville people. At the underground on January 17th, 22nd, and February 7th. With your incredible band. Let's pivot to your band, the Hodge Podge. Great band. I mean, Joshua Blaylock on keys, Esther O'Kay on vocals, Brandon Combs on drums. And if I'm missing someone, please let me know. An incredible band, Grace, but why don't you tell me a little bit about the story of the Hodge Podge? Because I feel like you hit the jackpot, and I'm sure it didn't just appear out of nowhere. Like, there was some behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, it's called the Hodge Podge because for a while, I had people booking me for shows, and I never had like a band. So I would just get people that I knew and throw together a band, and it was all great. I loved. Truly, there was never a bad show. But it was a hodgepodge. I mean, it was. Nothing was ever permanent, and I mean, I don't know, I just wanted to have like a set band of people, and I feel like we still have changes to make, but it's getting there, and we're all gonna go into the studio in February to record an EP with John Osborne. So
are you excited about that?
I'm so stoked about that.
Amazing. Like, what are your plans? Like, what can you give us? What teaser can you give us? Like, what kind of songs are you gonna play? Like,
old school 60s and 70s soul and funk and rock.
Hell yeah.
Mesh that all together.
Hell yeah. I love it, Grace. Well, listen, I know you have a busy day ahead, so let me leave you with this. Let 2024, we're in 2024 already. I know you're gonna play a lot of great festivals. I know you're gonna play some great that you haven't announced yet, But tell me a little bit about, like, are you excited about kind of like hitting the road? Because I feel like, you're going to start leaving the cocoon a little bit, you're going to start getting the miles in, and with all the good and bad and exciting that comes, are you looking forward to that?
Yes, very much so. I mean, that's all I've ever wanted. Like, playing live shows for people is my favorite thing. Like, you can write, you can go to the studio, you can do sessions, but playing live is definitely my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
And getting to do it all throughout the summer at different festivals all over the US is just going to be great.
It's going to be great. And we can't wait to cross paths a few times with you, Grace. Hopefully you'll teach us some of your faces that you do on stage. We want to learn one, the grunting one. That's what we want to learn, hopefully. So my dating life can go from 2 to -10, that's the point. That'll do it. Well, Grace, always an honor. Thanks for coming back on the show. Like, you're like legit, like the #1 most popular. Like, you beat, like, you like triple the Emmylou Harris episode. Like, you're just flying high, man. You're just flying high. So we're so thrilled that we had you back.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, Grace. See you around.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here for the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from Jrodconcerts Media.